This communion meditation has three elements, or three stories. The first story is about communion. Communion is a ritual, and my personal belief is that we gather around a table where there's room for everyone, and there also is room for people that have not yet arrived. We eat together. We share food from a single source. And we model this ritual, or this time, this communion, after Jesus' presence at the last Passover, shortly before his death. And at that time, he said that he was giving his life for everyone. And he asked us to do the same. So this ritual is a gathering, a community gathering. It's feeding and being fed. It's receiving an intention or a mandate for being who we are individually and as a community. The second element or idea is about a story of liminality. Limen, L-I-M-I-N, is a Latin word meaning threshold or space between two walls. And at this time in our life, we are at a space between two walls, and we don't quite know what is behind the second wall. We can have these constantly in our life, and sometimes there's just short periods, like a graduation or a child going off to college. Going off to college is one wall, and then life changes. And we know that experience. Sometimes these events are very large. They're very eventful. 9/11 was one example. The whole world changed at 9/11. We thought it was going one way. Everybody was starting to really feel good about being cared for and taken care of and being important in the world. And then we went off to war and changed that whole second wall. Liminality is very important. We are in a space between COVID, which was a traumatic event, and it is still happening. We have built up one space of happening, and our whole culture is changing. It's changing in such a gradual way that we are not sure exactly where it's going. That's the thing with liminalities. It's the space between knowing and not knowing. Death is a liminality. It's crossing a threshold into a new space. Very important and very sacred. The third is a statement about, or an element about, stewardship. Now, stewardship is based on the indigenous belief and religion that Mother Earth is a gift from our Creator. Mother Earth has everything we need to live and to love. All the elements of Mother Earth are interrelated, dependent on each other. And that is where we get our life. And that's where we give life. In our simple life here at Welcome Table, stewardship is our intention in participating. It's our intention of participating through our relationships. Our intention comes from our heart, and it's a source of our being, a community. Stewardship, for example, gives every employer a fair and just wage. It gives them a safe and humane environment. It helps every employer to use their own talents and abilities, and it trains them to be a better person. Stewardship, for example, is not balancing a budget, nor is it saying we cannot afford it. A good example of a time when we as a community were stewards is when we opened our doors and our space to tenants. You all pitched in and prepared the apartments with cleaning, purchasing, donating, and preparing a safe and delightful home for a stranger. You were at the door when they arrived, and you welcomed them with your hearts. In summary, we are a gathering community who believes we are directed by Jesus to give our lives of love. We are a realistic people, living on a threshold of a new era. We know that we are in a time of transition, having learned what it means to be interdependent and living interdependently, and are eager to move in the direction of justice and equity. And we are a caring, giving people, loving, and we know we are a gift. We know that we are learning how to respect our gifts and to share them so that all can have what they need, so that all can be caring, loving people. I have a quote here from Pope Francis. Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine on itself, and flowers do not give fragrance for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We are all born to help each other, no matter how difficult it is. Life is good when you are happy, but it's much better when others are happy because of you.